Amy Chung is Samurai Girl. The world premiere begins Friday, September 5th and continues all weekend. Only on ABC Family. A new kind of family.
I'm Jamie.
Jamie, nice to meet you. I'm Aaron with MovieWeb.
Hi, Aaron.
We're here with Jamie Chung, the star of ABC Family's Samurai Girl.
Hello.
Welcome to Comic-Con.
Thank you. I'm really excited.
Have you been to Comic-Con before?
No, never. I've only heard stories, only seen pictures, but I'm thrilled. And we came back way, and I really didn't get a feel yet of Comic-Con. You know, we came directly into this room, but I'm excited. I was peeking out, you know, and there's tons of people outside, and yet I still didn't see a costume.
Oh, just keep looking, you'll find them.
Okay, that's what I'm here for, because I think the best thing about these kind of events is to really experience the true passions of fans. I was at a screening for X-Files, because Frank Spotnitz was the same producer for Samurai Girl Pilot, and, you know, he's co-executive producer for X-Files. So we were at a private screening the other night, and, you know, to sit behind all these fans who brought out, you know, t-shirts, and one girl crocheted, you know, her Mulder and Scully, and it was crazy. But these fans really made everything 10 times better. Because sitting in the movie, you know, when Skinner came on, there'd be like hoots and hollers, and the girls would go crazy when Mulder had his shirt off. And you know, it's great just to see the fans in their element, and like just watching them enjoy things and like really taking things seriously. So Comic-Con is like X-Files the movie premiere times a million. So I'm really stoked.
Okay, well, speaking of the fans, what everyone wants to know is, can you tell us a little bit about Samurai Girl and about Heaven?
Sure. Samurai Girl is about a 19-year-old girl named Heaven who is adopted by one of Japan's most powerful and wealthiest families, the Koga family. And during tragic events, you know, she agreed to an arranged marriage to please her father. Her brother rescues her, is killed in the process, and, you know, he tells her that not to trust the family because the Yakuza has a very strong influence in the family. So she's confused, she's in San Francisco, you know, she's only supposed to be there for the wedding, so she's kind of thrown into this world storm, and it's chaotic, and her whole entire life is turned upside down. So, you know, in efforts to find out how much her family's influenced with the Yakuza, she discovers that she's a part of this crazy, secret, ancient prophecy. So, you know, during her adventure with her newfound friends and new family, she searches for these artifacts. It's kind of like Indiana Jones, you know? Like searching for those artifacts, the adventure, her growing. It's crazy. There's chopper fights, there's gunfights, there's, you know, martial arts, there's girl fights. And there's this whole show is just one crazy adventure, but it's all about self-discovery and who Heaven really is, and it's great. It has comedy and romance and really everything.
All right, well, you talked about new family and romance and girl fights, so can you talk a little bit about your relationship with Brendan's character,
Yes.
Jake?
Well, Heaven is in love with Jake, played by Brendan Fehr, and, you know, it's kind of always been her childhood crush. It's the older brother best friend syndrome. So, you know, and she's told when her brother is dying in her arms, he tells her to look for him, and he's the one that you can trust. So he's really my mentor. He's the hot version of Mr. Miyagi, and I'm the female version of the young grasshopper. So you have those storylines. And the girl fight, Stacy Keibler's character, Karen, you know, comes into the mix, and Heaven's perplexed. She doesn't know what's going on. There's the ex-girlfriend, and whenever there's an ex-girlfriend storyline, there's going to be drama.
Was it exciting to be able to do some of the fights in your own stunt work?
Oh, you have no idea. I try to do all the stuff. You know, there's certain things where they couldn't but I always try to do all my own stuff. But it's my most favorite. Yeah.
Well, then speaking of stunts, you just recently were finished shooting for Dragon Ball.
Correct.
Can you talk to us a little bit about working on that project?
Sure, Dragon Ball, I mean, working on a major motion film and a television show are two completely different feats. You know, you have all the time in the world with a feature film, and you know the abilities that they have with special effects and costumes, clothes, makeup. It's great. You know, the fight choreographers for Dragon Ball was 8711, and they did 300 for an Ultimatum, V for Vendetta, and you know the fights that they came up for us was really cool. You know, my character in Dragon Ball isn't as interesting as Heaven for the new ABC Family series, Samurai Girl, but you know they're both very similar. They're both young girls in their teens who are very strong and they both kick ass. So it's fun to, you know, it's an honor to play both characters.
Were you familiar with the source material either from Dragon Ball or from Samurai Girl?
Yes. Well, Samurai Girl, when I was giving the script and when I was auditioning, I went out and I got the book, and it's a real page turner. It's great, and we tried, you know, the creators of the show tried to stay true to the book as much as possible. But you know, during the translation from book to TV, there's some things that you have to leave out and some things that you add, but you know, in true spirit, Heaven still has, you know, still carries the same essence as in the book. So we try to stay true to the characters.
You sound like you have a lot of passion for the character.
I do.
I know there's talk that if the pilot, or if the miniseries goes well, this might become a full series. Are you looking forward to the idea of that or possibility of that?
You know, I think it'd be great to continue to play it. And it's a great show, and it's something that I had so much fun filming. But when we were told that we got the 6, we were just so grateful for the 6 that we put 125,000% into making the show as great as possible. And if it goes to series, if it, you know, picks up the second season, we'll do the same. But it's so much fun, and I don't want it to stop. So I really hope the fans like it, and that's what it really comes down to, is we make these shows for the fans. So if they enjoy watching it, and they express they enjoy watching it, then we'll probably have a second season, because everyone has really high hopes for the show.
Great. Well, we're all looking forward to seeing it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you guys.
Nice too. Who plays Jake on Samurai Girl?
Yes.
So, welcome to Comic-Con.
Thank you very much.
Have you been here before?
I've not been here before.
Have you heard stories?
I've heard plenty of stories about it. Yeah. We'll see if they're all true.
All right.
We'll see if it lives up to the hype.
Sounds good. It sounds like a challenge to all Comic-Con fans.
I suppose it is.
So can you tell us a little bit about your character in Samurai Girl?
Yeah, he's Jake Stanton, obviously is his name. He's a ex-Army brat. That's just kind of the background. And, you know, he doesn't look camel. We always say ex-Army. Any tough guy in any story is an ex-Army brat. But his other job, obviously, he kind of, I guess, moonlighted or moonlit for the Japanese mafia as a henchman of sorts, possible assassin. And then obviously didn't want to pursue that avenue anymore, and so he kind of cuts and runs. Is the whole backstory is kind of what you learn about him, and then it kind of picks up with him living in this kind of secluded house, and Heaven, played by Jamie Chung, who is the Samurai Girl. She comes and solicits his help after her wedding's attacked by what she feels is possibly the Yakuza, Japanese mafia, and so me being the best friend of her brother, she comes to me for help, and then we go and I guess kick ass from there.
Can you talk a little bit about the relationship that ends up between Jake and Heaven?
Yeah, there's obviously when you're fighting and there's life and death scenarios, and you're dealing with her brother dies early on, and so kind of dealing with that grief and loss. Obviously, there's kind of a bond that's formed, and so it's kind of that push-pull relationship where obviously she's very attractive and beautiful, and there's a strength about her that is obviously going to appeal to any guy. And then it's revealed that she's had a crush on me since a young age, and me and her brother were buddies, and so there's the push-pull in the sense that it's my best friend's sister. So it's kind of I'm there to keep her safe, and it's kind of a hands-off, but at the same time going through all those, like I said, those life and death moments and all that stuff. There's just going to be that that inevitable kind of pulling of us together and stuff like that. So there's a romance of sorts, but it's kind of a hit or miss. Obviously, Stacy Keibler, who's also on the show, she plays my ex-fiance. She comes in the mix, which obviously kind of stirs the pot and muddies things up for any guy. So it's a whole kind of little bit of a love triangle. And, you know, Jake Stanton, he basically kills people for a living, so he's not too good in the romance department. So.
And yet he's still fought over by two beautiful women.
Yeah, they like the bad boys, I suppose. So.
Were you at all familiar with the source material that the show's based on?
I wasn't. My particular character wasn't in any of the books. There was a guy by the name of Hero in the books that I guess my character is kind of loosely based on. But I didn't read any of the Roswell books before Roswell either. I just I kind of had an idea of the character based on the original script. I had a clear idea of kind of what I wanted to do and how I wanted to play him and stuff like that. And for me, kind of that was good enough. I think those instincts, kind of kicked in. And again, based on the fact that he wasn't even in the books, I was going to kind of make it my own. So I get a little bit of anyone who's a fan of the books. I think we definitely, for kind of what I've heard, we keep the spirit of the books in there, and there's definitely a connection. But we did kind of want to make our own thing and all that stuff. But I get a free pass in the sense that I don't have to live up to anyone's particular expectations. So.
Are you looking forward at all to if the miniseries gets turned into a regular series, an ongoing series?
Yeah, I would. I definitely would. I mean, that's something that I would look forward to kind of. Obviously playing Jake again and working with all these people, and I think there's a lot of storylines and a lot of stuff that we could kind of experiment with and kind of put up on the screen that people would like. And it's not really, I don't want to say we've kind of broken the mold on anything. I don't want to think any kind of grandiose thoughts like that or put us into a category where we don't belong. But at the same time, I don't think there's quite anything on television like this, at least at this present time, and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of there's the romance and the character stuff, but there's a number of fights and sword fighting scenes and a lot of hand-to-hand combat. And I guess obviously having the producers of Alias, I guess it's something maybe similar to what that was, but given the fact that she was I guess a government spy or whatnot, as opposed to we're actually samurais and ninjas, so we don't have a protocol to follow. We got more of a the code of the samurai to follow, and so I think it makes it just something a little bit different that that's just not on television. I hope people will gravitate towards it. I hope we're given the opportunity to kind of come back and put some more stuff up on the screen for us.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We're with Stacy Keibler, who plays Karen in ABC Family's Samurai Girl.
Yep.
Welcome back to Comic-Con.
Thank you.
Having a good time so far?
Well, I just walked in the door, so I haven't been able to go where all the excitement is happening, but I'm so excited to be here because I've been here before and I know what it is, and I just think these are the best fans in the world, and I'm just happy to have another project to be here for.
Great. So can you tell us a little bit about your character in the show?
Yeah, I play Karen, and I come in halfway through the miniseries, and I am Heaven, the main character's nemesis, and I come in, I stir the pot, I bring a lot of surprises to the show, and there's a lot of relationship drama, there's a lot of action, so I get to do a little bit of everything.
So you get to do some fighting as well as acting?
Yes, I get to do fighting, which was the most exciting part of it for me, and I really was like, wow, I really like this. I need to look into some more scripts with some action. I don't know if it was just my background and everything that came with like dancing and choreography and the wrestling and the fighting, that it all kind of came together, and it was just really fun, and Jamie and I wanted to do a lot of our own stunts, so we couldn't walk the next day.
Any chance that we'll ever see you go back to wrestling, even as a guest appearance?
I don't know. I never say never. I don't have any plans of it right now, but you never know.
It is.
Were you familiar with the books that these shows based on?
I actually didn't read the books. Everything happened so fast when I got the part, and I read these scripts and went to Vancouver, and I was there for a month, and I didn't have any time to read the books.
I know there is some talk of maybe the miniseries being turned into an ongoing series. What would you like to see happen with your character during the course of the series?
Well, you'll have to watch to find out, I guess, what happens. And then, if it goes on from there, I don't know, this is such a great character to play that, we'll see what happens.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Great, thanks.